here with I'm here with Kevin Steffes, and we're at AHF Conference 2025 in New Orleans. So, hey, Kevin, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am a food service director with an 8 hospital system across central Illinois. We range everywhere from a 10 or 15 bed critical access hospital to a 530 beds academic medical institution. So we kind of have everything from nuts to bolts.
Wow, wow, that is awesome. And Kevin, if how do you think the state of our industry will be within the next 5 years from a meal delivery perspective?
Looking at meal delivery, I think that we're always looking at, temperatures,
Yeah.
right? So how are we going to keep our cold items cold, our hot items hot, and, looking for solutions across the board in order to make that happen, right? I think that the other big piece, and I think you probably know this as well as I do, that the minute we cook it and put it on a plate, quality and the temperature changes, right?
Yeah,
And so the
yeah.
faster we can get the things up to the patients and those that we serve, the better off we are.
Wow, that is awesome. And if you had a magic wand, what if you had a magic wand, what would you like to see in the meal delivery area for our patients?
Magic wand. I'm thinking of like the Jetsons,
There
right?
you go, the
Go back
Jetsons.
there and you have that, robot in the wall, and you press the button and you get the food, right?
Wow.
Instantly. I know that that's pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Me watching cartoons when I was 5-year-old boy type of fantasy.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
obviously it's like, how can we provide those high quality items, right?
yeah.
And so whatever it is that we can do from a production standpoint, from a meal delivery standpoint, those are the things that are going to be important.
Wow.
It can't just be that old fashioned, we're going to put a metal dome over like the hotel does for
Yeah.
room service
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hope that it gets up there the way that we want it to, right?
Yeah.
That's not good enough. That won't cut it.
Wow, that's awesome. And then also, what have you gained any knowledge from being here at the conference this year?
I think every year AHF is one of the best conferences that I go to. I think that there's tons of networking with peers, and I think that the vendor operator partnership is something that's unique to AHF conference and the trade show. And I think that we have vendors here that are really coming to us with solutions and want to hear what our pain points are,
Yes.
so we can work together,
Yeah.
to find those right solutions. And I think that that's a little bit more unique to the conference here in HF and the environment. So,
Wow.
yep.
And Kevin, when I was at your location in Urbana, Illinois, I was just so impressed with your retail area and with your patient service area. Just really impressed with it.
Thank you.
So, from a perspective of self-op versus contract food service, how do you keep the contractors out of your area?
I think I'm really blessed to start with. I think Carle Health is an organization that's really proud of the fact that they're self-operated.
Yeah.
However, those things can change in an instant, right?
Yeah.
And so as an operator, I think we need to always be aware of what type of things the contractor is going to try and talk to our administration about, right? What do they think that they can do better? I'm going to tell you that I know I can do every single thing the contractor does, and I can do it just as well, and I can do it cheaper.
Wow.
And so our focus is on innovation,
Yeah.
because that's what they're going to sell
Yeah.
to our senior leadership. They're going to say, oh, there's a problem in retail. The participation rate's not what it should be. We could remodel the space. They're going to sell all these things. And honestly, if we just put our heads together, work with our partners that we have through AHF, through our peers, we've all seen it. We've all done it, and I think that that spirit of innovation and looking for what's next is probably at the heart of everything I do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's how we got to where we are.
Wow.
When I first took over at Carle in the patient aspect, we used to tell people, oh, your tray will be up in about an hour. Had no idea how long it really was because we didn't have a great method to track it.
Yeah.
We implemented some technology. We kept driving that delivery time down, and our average delivery time now is between 30 and 35 minutes.
Wow.
And we're delivering 1,200 trays a day.
Wow.
So it's not like there's only a handful of trays going up, but we just focus on the customer, the patient, and innovation.
Wow, so that's awesome. So I know from my colleague Jerry Gabbert and I, we appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to talk to us and for us to give us a little bit more insight on what's going on in your operation and in our industry.